Here we are. Another episode.
You started it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I trust you, because you're the one that would say that. Oh, if you don't record, I'm not
But
gonna
I
do
watched
it.
it. I watched it happen. Even if I was the one to do it, I'll still storm out and have a tantrum.
Hey.
It's just I've decided that's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, storm, you know.
Okay.
Hey, storms.
No. No.
Hey.
No.
Hey.
Okay. So
Shatawale.
explain that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You are now listening to the lucrative. Sorry. You are now listening to the Make It Lucrative podcast with your hosts Naniao and Genevieve. Mill, making sure you're
the
paid
sun
up.
checking in 30
Days late for their
shift.
shift. You know, this is a regular conversation that Londoners have about the weather. It's a very substantial conversation. The conversation is meaty. There's a lot that can be said. And I know that people are just like, oh, this is English weather, this, that, and the other. But I'm getting a bit just tired of... I don't mind the rain. You know me, I like winter. I don't mind the rain. But I packed away all of my summer accoutrements.
Yeah.
All of my summer clothing items have been packed away.
Have you seen that everybody's been putting up on their story on Instagram, just like, this country only has 2 years left of me. I swear down, then I'm out. You know, it's just like,
Don't mind
where's
them.
everybody planning
Please,
to...
please.
Do you get me? Like, I was thinking, like, where you guys planning to... You guys are going to go...
You have become accustomed to this
You're
land.
staying here.
You're not going... Just say that you're going to take extra holidays or you're going to
The only
spend
person that I
extra
believe
time outside London.
if they said
even.
that is you, because from young you've been saying you want to...
No, but you know, I did change my mind as I've gotten older because that's why I said that you've become accustomed. I've become accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
Trust me.
And although there are things... But, you know, I think that kind of thinking comes with age. I think the older you get, the more you decide that... I think that's how... I think it's just been a weird... I mean, I've enjoyed... Like I said, this is like one of the first summers I've actually enjoyed.
No, summer's just started.
Summer's finished.
No, but I
please.
mean, so what summer did you enjoy?
Do you forget that we had a couple of weeks of nice weather? Hey, have you forgotten?
No,
So
last
soon.
year when we were in lockdown, that summer was lit.
I don't remember that summer. How can it have been lit when we weren't allowed to leave our house? Did you even
No,
experience
do you
the
know
weather?
why you didn't find it lit? Because I was redundant, just enjoying every single
Every day I was
of it.
trudging through
Yeah,
this
you were just every
bloody
day.
heat. No, it was it. So yeah, I think for me it's been like a normal week or whatever. It's just that, you know, I mean, I get to go to work without like a coat and stuff, and I quite like that.
Bro, we're grown. Like, you see how that excited you? I get to go to work without a
Yeah,
coat.
sometimes it's just about, you know why? Because the underground has its own weather. Like there's a whole like
Yeah.
environmental system going on down there. So even if it's cold outside, when you get down into the underground, you want to take off your coat, and that can be a bit annoying.
Yeah,
so.
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Especially last week, I didn't know what jacket to wear.
Yeah, you know, I had a day like that.
Yeah, I kept wearing my big jackets in the morning, and by the time I'll be walking in my big jackets, just sweating.
You know what I used to really hate? When I first started working where I was before I got to where I am now, I used to have to start work at 7, so then you'd leave the house at like 5:36.
Cold.
Whether winter, whether summer, whether spring, whether Indian summer, whatever you want to call it doesn't matter. In the morning, it'll be freezing cold, so you're there packed up with your jacket and your scarf, and then... By the time you're leaving at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you just look like it because your bag is not big enough to put the stuff away. You have to take. Oh, it was long, man. So that was a bit annoying. But now you can kind of like feel it out. When I'm leaving, it's like it's a bit warm and stuff.
The weather's nice.
Yeah.
The weather's nice.
Apparently, it's gonna rain tomorrow though, so that's a bit annoying.
What can you do to be honest?
How was your week?
Week was good. You get me? Week was good. Wrote down some goals that
Sorry. Why are you showing me up? What you're doing is.
Yeah. I said we wrote down some goals. I just you know what? Yeah, I feel like I've really seen the necessity of planning.
100%.
Do you get me? Because everything I've seen that I complete stuff more when I plan it, more than like when I actually plan it, write it down, like action plan of how I'm going to achieve it, more than when I say I want to do this and then it never happens. We've actually we mentioned it in the last one, but we've actually had a good week family wise.
Yeah.
Everybody's
100%.
hit their
Everyone's
milestones.
winning, yeah.
Everybody's winning. You get me, and it kind of gives you the drive to go on.
It just makes you feel like a lot more things are achievable. And I think the thing with like planning and stuff is you can't plan everything down to a T because, you know, certain things will get in the way. But I think what planning does is that a lot of the time, the issue that people have with getting certain goals realized and achieved and things is that you just kind of forget. You kind of forget. And having them written down just makes you sometimes remember. And you don't forget because you're incompetent or like, you know, you're
just
silly.
life.
But yeah, things get in the way and sometimes you just need a reminder. And the other thing I think about setting goals as well is it just helps you sort of just stay on track. I've always been taught or sort of remember that when you're setting goals, you set your main goal, then you set like the mini ones that will get you to each milestone to get to that goal.
Somebody put a picture of like you know those Instagram artists who like do arts of meme. You know what I'm talking about? Like there'll be a picture of two things and they'll be like, this is this and this is this. You know what I'm talking about? No, I think I need to. No, if I got to cut. But it was like somebody had one of like a ladder, two people trying to climb a ladder, and one had like big steps and one had lots of little steps. And the person that had the big steps couldn't even get onto the first step. The person that had the mini step was like halfway up. And it was just like it's the small goals. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I would have never known how to like articulate that, but that person really. You get what I'm trying to say?
Everybody has their time.
They've got time.
Has their place.
Yeah. So
100%.
like obviously big up to the small goals, but what were you saying that we were gonna come in?
Do you think? Well, this is on the subject of what we're coming to talk about. Do you feel like when you, I don't want to use the word when you get older because we're not babies.
But you know why? That will always be a thing that's on everybody's lips.
What?
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
older?
yeah, when you get older, because you're always
because when you get older, you're gonna get older.
You never think that you're not old, but you never think that you're the older that you were talking about. You get what I'm trying to say? Like you're always thinking like, oh no, this is not the age I was talking about. Like, you know, even when you think about getting married, having kids, this, it's so easy to be like, oh, when I get older. Do you get me?
But yeah, so do you think when you're older and stuff, you're still gonna be able to plan the same sort of way? Because basically, what I wanted to talk about is just like adulting. I just feel like there's a lot of stuff that was said to us when we were younger about what adult life is like, but there was very many little tiny things that wasn't really mentioned. Like the big things I mentioned, you're gonna have to pay your bills when you have kids, you have these responsibilities, blah blah blah. But little things like, you know, like people like to mention a lot, like calling for the GP and just little things that you have to, all of those kind of things. So my question is like, do you feel like you're gonna still be using those kind of things when you get married and when you have kids? Do you, like all of that?
I don't think I'm gonna call my GP when I get married.
You won't call the GP at all? You're just gonna be like an African. No, I mean like you're using your to-do list and stuff. Do you think it's still gonna be like a plausible way? I know it would make sense, but do you think you're gonna have the time to do it?
You know what? Yeah, it's a thing that at this, if you want to do it, whenever you want to do it, you have to kind of end up making it a habit.
Okay, yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because it's like, obviously, like, life gets, like, sometimes you can be doing stuff, and let's be honest, life gets real. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like, when you're in a hustle, bustle, trying to do something, imagine like, oh my God, we need to do this, it's just like, stop, hold on, what are you doing? You just remember like,
I need to put it in my day planner.
Just like, where's the planner? Where is the planner? Then you're just like,
shut down.
hold on. Everything's okay now.
Found the planner.
We've got the planner. No, like,
because there's, you know what? There's
hey,
so
remember
many
when
things.
I had a thing in the podcast when I was dashing your phone? Was that a thing? Yeah, I was dashing your phone.
I was dashing your phone.
No, I was dashing your phone.
No, I was dashing your phone.
No,
I was dashing your phone.
No, yeah, I got the footage.
Do you think I'm sitting here lying? Is this something that I should lie about?
Okay.
If it turns out that you're like, it's just that I don't remember. Anyway, because what I was going to ask is like, there's little things. Like, has anybody told you about like making sure you do your life insurance at the moment?
Oh yeah.
Like I heard that like 29 or like 28, like around just before you're 30 is a good time to do life insurance. There's like workplace pensions. There's just normal pensions. There's this kind of insurance. Like there's loads of little things.
You know, I find it so funny because I remember when I was working as a recruiter. I think even when I went for my interview for one of the places I worked, I was talking to one of the guys that was interviewing me. We were just having a chat about bonuses and stuff. And he was just like, we get some really young people here, yeah, that when you talk to them about bonuses, yeah, they'll ask questions like, are we going to get taxed from it, or are you going to give us some bonus cash or stuff like that? And he was thinking like it was just thinking, he was just like, rah, these guys are really young. Like, what do you mean that they're going to get taxed? Of course you're going to get taxed on it. Or of course, like, it's going to be part of your pay.
I feel like we've just been very ill-informed when it comes to finances.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to my manager and like she she's like just recently like got herself a house and whatever, and she was just like, there's when she was going into the process of getting herself good, they delve really deeply into your finances and things, and she said if she had known at the time, and this is the thing, some people like the young kids probably know now, but there's people who are older than you that this is not the reason you know is because of social media. I would say so. So she was like, if she had known there's some stuff that she had done that was just silly when she was younger, that she didn't think much of, that she wouldn't have done. So I feel like, and I've always said, I don't know if they say it online, but I've always said it in my head, like, why don't they have, I'm talking from like right at the end of primary school into secondary school, why don't they really teach? Because I'm not saying that some of the stuff they teach us is silly. I'm just saying they could have also taught us some of this stuff. Budgeting.
And you know what?
Budgeting.
Yeah, I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but let me drop one.
Mm.
I think I've even spoken about it before.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
I just don't think the system's designed for us to do well.
Win. Yeah.
Do you get me? I feel like, for example, I know Esther, when she listens to this, shout out Esther, she's gonna be like, "Don't be a hustle, bro." But obviously, when I was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad,
oh my God, they should pay you. They should pay you.
They should. I'm not gonna disagree with that. Do you get me? It's just like you kind of have to look at it from that angle of, okay, there's the upper class, middle class, lower class. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's just like the way you kind of get taught, or the way you kind of, the information that feeds you kind of pushes you into these classes.
I don't think anybody's teaching. I think that if you have like arrived, or have somehow appeared in a place where you're middle class, it is because you have this knowledge. I would say you would have some knowledge on budgeting, on investments, on
middle
finances, or whatever class that you understand. Because you were saying like they kind of have that knowledge. So like for now, what you know now is what you will pass on to your kids. So it's just that they didn't know it before. But I don't think that they're necessarily being taught it in a special.
No. But this is the thing I always say. Yeah, listen. I'm done with complaining that they don't teach us at school.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. It's like, for example, now we've got this platform, Mill and stuff like that. It's like we've seen the necessity of this kind of knowledge going out there, and we are gonna, we were speaking about it earlier about putting on all those like projects and schemes and all of those stuff to teach kind of these things because it's needed.
Yeah,
do you get me?
Because that's
the government's not going to do it.
Yeah.
The teachers are not going to do it. They most probably don't even know themselves. Do you get me?
End up, because you don't realize that the little silly things that.
Do you know what? I saw something. My guy, CK Talks Money, I did an episode with him early in the podcast. Big up him. He shared something of a girl. I'm gonna even find it, and she did an awesome post here, and I believe that post needs 1 million likes and stuff. It was a breakdown of a payslip, what everything means on a payslip.
That is also very important because you get a lot of people. Like I've had people ask me before.
Generally, we all know there's been a time we looked at our payslip
and just not.
We just looked at.
He was just like, what's PAE? What's PAYE?
Yeah, you get me?
Why have they taken this much? Yeah,
pay?
What's
do
that?
You get me?
We
don't understand.
You know the worst thing, you see bare numbers, you see bare amounts here, but when you add it together, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up to the same thing that you've been paying.
You know, bare man have been like, listen, but I don't understand. 21. K divided by 12. I should be getting. I should be getting
that's
more
how people are working at their head.
I should be getting more than something.
They don't know what the percentage of tax.
That's when man them go roadmen on HR.
Yeah, 100% is like, but why has this been taken out of my account? Well, there we are. I think all of I think you're right actually. If you could find that post, then I think we should put that up because I think it's quite important. But there's all these things to consider.
All of these things.
So she was basically just saying that it just made it a little bit difficult. Eventually she did get it, but it just made it that much harder to sort of get on the ladder and stuff. And there's already enough things fighting against us before you even kind of do that. But by the time people get that knowledge, the damage is sort of already done, and then they spend some years. You can fix it. Like I'm not saying that it's hopeless. You can definitely fix it and stuff. It will just make things a little bit harder for you. So for me, I don't know if they should necessarily be teaching it in school, but someone should be teaching it somewhere. And I think it should be like, I don't know if it's in America or somewhere, but there's some certain courses that are sort of like mandatory. I think it should be something that at some point, maybe in your secondary school life or in your college life, you should take it. Like they should just call it the life course.
I'm not sure if it's in this country or in America.
Or maybe they already do it.
And I'm not sure if it's a teacher or someone. he does like a gentleman's club.
Yes,
for,
I've heard of it. Young
boys,
men,
I think it's aimed especially at young black boys as well. And he'll show them to like how to wear suits,
how to put on a tie, all
prep,
of that,
all of those kind of stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
Look. Let me put something out there. Nobody knows how to shake hands again. Look, and before
it's true.
Before anybody comes and says, "Oh, it's COVID and we shouldn't be blah blah blah." No, I'm even talking about pre-COVID. I've shook some men and just oh god, I don't even know what's good.
Like you're coming for a proper shake.
And they have no idea what to do. And I was always taught, like, I know that it's COVID now, but I just still feel like it's these kind of things. Like, nobody knows how to do much of anything anymore. Like, just little common courtesy things. When you walk into a room, if you walk into an interview, I've been taught that you don't just walk in and sit down. You walk in, you kind of greet, and then you wait for them to tell you to sit down, kind of thing, and offer you a chair. You know, little things like that. Like, people aren't taught that. But that handshake thing, it really baffled me. I shook a couple of men's hands, and I was just like, "What's going on?"
But you know, for me, I don't know, because I was talking to Julie about certain things for like just like customer service kind of etiquette.
Yeah,
do you get me?
yeah.
And because we were talking about how somebody else is like good at customer service and stuff, and I was just like, I feel it's like, because you've done it as well, like working in the high street. Do you get me? Marks and Spencers and Ice, you know, Waitrose, these kind of places where they're proper on customer service and stuff. Like, bro, being polite is what keeps you in your job.
100%.
Bro, just being polite.
I think
in the marks and you work here, you get me? Smiling. Like, going and being your cheekbones will be hurting.
Just go. Every minute.
Like,
whether you're
the
sad,
man
whether
just
you
ticking
just
to see
finish
if you're
crying.
smiling.
Yeah,
like, you're packing shells and smiling, saying good morning, saying good evening. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But yeah, so this guy's doing those kind of stuff for like the young ones and stuff. And I realised like how necessary it is.
I think when it comes to things like budgeting and finance and stuff, I don't think you should necessarily be teaching it to become a millionaire. I think you should be teaching it just so that you can just live a bit of a peaceful, like have peace of mind in your life.
At the end of the day,
you should be able to pay your rent.
Some people are not. Yeah, that's the thing. Some people are not trying to become millionaires.
Yeah, they're just trying to be comfortable.
Even where they are, they're struggling with a good amount of pay.
Learning not to live above your means. You should be able to pay your bills. You should be able to save. You should be able to have these. Like, not everything's a luxury. Not like I think it's mostly dependent on where you live, but in London, not everything is a luxury. Oh, you have a car that's like, I wouldn't necessarily say so. I think, but you should just have according to your means. If you can afford to have those, but some people can afford to. For me, that's the craziest thing. Some people can afford to have those things and are still struggling. Like, you got
because
they bring in money.
Skills.
They bring in money.
Yeah.
And yet they still are in debt. And it's what's going on? And it's not because it's just bad, like, handling of finance. Like, they just can't do it because no one's.
That's what I was gonna say, but I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I know some people won't agree with me this, but it's because for me as well. Yeah, you most probably will, because you get me. This country does have this whole. Yeah, no, sorry, drop. I was just around. What we were saying before. Anyway, this country does have this whole like, let kids be kids, in a sense of let kids be kids, let them make detrimental mistakes.
Yeah, that's.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like there's a difference between letting a kid be a kid, go outside and play, and let a kid be a kid, take out a 2K loan. Do you get me? Credit score messed, and it's just like when you want to get a house now, you can't put in the application that kids. I was just being a kid.
Yeah, I was under 12, so it doesn't count.
Do you get me? I was 18 and I got out the loan.
I mean, at that age, sometimes I think about, like, did people even need that?
No, because to be honest, we've all done it. Like, you just see you're able to get money, and you're thinking like you just want to have 2Ks or you just want to have this.
It's people's sort of
let me tell you this. Yeah, there's some stuff. Yeah, honestly, I always say there's certain stuff, because I know that I don't know if we're gonna still talk about it, or like even the workplace pension stuff. Yeah, let's just take that as an example. Sometimes, yeah, I'm sitting at work, yeah, and listen. I calculate how much I will get if I opt out of the workplace pension, yeah, and then I just hear daddy's voice in my head just telling me, no, don't do it. You're gonna need it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
100%.
He's drilled that.
Some people don't even know about workplace pension.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
And as soon as they find out, I feel, for me, like, because I've done a little bit of research into workplace pension, I think it's a great scheme. And I think there's certain things that you have to know about it before you decide if you want to opt out and opt in. Now, for some people, because I've spoken to some of like the older people in my workplace, and for them it's like there's no point of them opting out. They're getting towards retirement age. They want everything they can get. So obviously you have I believe it's the state pension, and you have the workplace pension, and then you could also do a private pension. And and there's different reasons people opt out. So some people opt out because they're gonna have enough anyway, so it doesn't really make sense for them. They just want to carry all of their pay. And then some people will opt out because at the moment it just doesn't make sense. They're not making enough anyway to continue to take that that part of it out. So I feel like and I thought workplace pension, because I felt like I only just couple of years back I only started hearing about it, but it's been there for a very long time. So you want to find out.
From long time.
So if you don't know, you contribute part of your pay, and then your workplace will also contribute. And every different like company and sort of like institution will contribute a certain amount. Some maybe 20%, some only 3%, whatever you want to call it. So you want to look into all of that and then just see if it's feasible. There are times.
Sorry, this is what I want to call the episode. Workplace pensions, payday loans. You think you're grown?
Just remember it.
I've said it here, so
cool. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm fine with
sorry,
that.
go on
So
with
I mean,
your
if it's something that you want to opt out of, that's not a problem. You can opt out. You can opt back in. If you most places, I guess, if you opt out, it just whatever you've accumulated will just sit there, and you can obviously opt back in at some point. And I think some people. So when I spoke to those other people, they were just like, for us, it doesn't make sense to opt out, but for you, it might make sense to opt out for a little bit and then jump back in. Depending on your situation. What I think people should consider, for those maybe considering to opt out, is that when you opt out, obviously the money that you're going to be taking home on your paycheck into your bank account is going to rise. So what I would suggest is, what's the reason you want to opt out? Obviously, if you're opting out because you want to save it, like I have a friend of mine, she's putting into a private pension, so she doesn't want to bother with this, and it's fine. So that's what she's doing. If you're just going to opt out to just spend it, you might as well just not opt out, because God willing, you live until retirement, you're gonna really be happy that you put that money aside. If you're opting out because you want to put the money somewhere, you want to save, you want to put it towards maybe getting on the property ladder or whatever, that's great. Obviously opt back in when you can, but I think one of the main things to remember is that when your money will increase when you opt out. When you opt back in, you have to now get used to having less money again, and that, depending on what you did during the period where you opted out, that might be quite difficult. But I think it's just like, I didn't really know, in my last workplace I had workplace, I didn't know about it. It wasn't until I came to my new workplace where they actually spoke about it. I was just like, oh,
you know what, I'm not gonna lie, especially because information is so accessible now.
Sorry,
what are you doing?
I don't know.
Like, I was gonna do it with you.
I don't know. I'm just, never mind.
Information at this point is so accessible. Like, you're doing yourself a disjustice if you don't intentionally go out there and find that information. Do you get me?
But you can only really find out what you've sort of heard a little bit
but
about.
I know, but it's like...
But you're just talking about...
In general.
Okay, yeah.
Not necessarily workplace pension, but it's just like, for example, no one's going to give you the information. And if you're going to wait for someone to give you the information, you're going to make so many mistakes because of ignorance. Do you get me? We're going to do an episode about
ignorance.
Yeah, what happened to us. It's a mad thing,
One
bro.
day.
Like 2 weeks.
No.
Not too early.
Oh, it still hurts.
The burn's still there.
It still hurts, mate.
Shit. You get what I'm trying to say? No, but it's like...
third degree burns.
Third degree burns,
like
even if you
degree,
don't learn. Listen, third degree burns, you better learn. Because out here, you have to earn.
Is this something that we should be rapping about?
Huh?
This thing, is this something that we should be rapping about?
It's not even. But anyway.
So yeah, there's loads of things. I think adulting, I think us who have now grown up, who are about to have kids and stuff, or who have already had kids, who have already had kids, we're gonna have a lot more than I think some of our parents had to tell us, because there's just to kind of prepare. Oh, there's so much that goes beyond trigonometry.
I don't even blame the parents, because a lot of our parents, they came here, bro. They were just they were finding stuff out at the same time we were finding stuff out.
Wow, hey. Oh my days.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So they tried, you get me? But now, bro, you're in the position, bro, find it out. Do you get me? Like, I won't
just be ready, prepare yourself.
It's
put yourself in the optimal
be intentional
position.
about. Go find it out. Do you get me? Like, if you want to find out.
Don't be caught unawares.
Don't be caught unawares. Don't be caught unawares. Anyway, let me do the intro, which is actually now the outro, because we didn't even do the intro. but we're all over here. Listen. The food is garbage.
Hey,
the seats are closed are orange.
Oh yeah. I'll let that one slide.
Trust me, you know what time it is. Lucrative, helping start up, stay up, meal, making sure I'm paid up.
You want to go again?
Yeah.
You know what came out? The Ghanaian, you came out making sure you're paid.
Hey.
Hey.
I'll do it like TikTok. I'll do it like a raffle.
Any more?
Huh?
Go again.
Lucrative, helping start up, stay up. Meal, making sure you're paid up. Describe the podcast. It's cool. It's corporate. It's corporate. Come on. It's cool.
Hey,
it's
don't
corporate.
mess
It's
it up again.
corporate. Come on. It's cool. It's corporate. It's corporate. Come on. Ooh, release me, my maker. Please understand me. Yes,